When someone who once walked away suddenly tries to come back into your life, it hits a part of every man he rarely admits even exists. On one side, the familiar warmth returns. The memories, the bond, the comfort, that quiet voice whispering, maybe this time she truly means it. But another voice rises too, the one you try to ignore, asking, why now? Why only after she walked away? Why after she left me confused, broken, or in the process of rebuilding myself? Maybe you felt that sting. Maybe she left you as if you were replaceable. Maybe she walked away when you were at your lowest. Maybe she claimed she needed space, yet that space somehow included new attention, new validation, even a new man she believed would make her happier than you ever did. And now, out of nowhere, she's back, sending a, "Hey stranger," liking your stories, asking how you've been, saying she misses you. And though you don't want to admit it, something tightens in your chest, a mix of hope, disappointment, anger, longing, and curiosity. Because every man eventually faces that moment where he must decide whether to let her back in or protect the peace he fought to rebuild. The truth is, most men fail this moment. They react emotionally, instantly, and from a wounded place rather than from standards. That's why the same cycle repeats with the same woman or the same kind of woman. If relationships have felt confusing or heavy for you, it might be because this exact mistake has played out before. But the cycle can end here. When a woman comes back after leaving, the situation isn't about her intentions. It's about your growth, your healing, your boundaries, and the version of yourself you've become since the moment she walked away. Once you understand this, the entire dynamic changes. You stop operating from fear or longing and start moving with clarity, self-respect, and emotional power. And the decision you make in this moment often shapes your emotional future. When she reaches out, whether with a flirty greeting, a nostalgic memory, or a long apology, your instinct is often to respond instantly. That instinct is dangerous because it communicates one thing: she still has easy access to you. That energy, even if never spoken, is always felt. So the first step is to slow down. Give yourself space to evaluate rather than react. Ask yourself why she left, how she treated you, what you learned during her absence, and whether you genuinely healed or are simply missing the idea of her. Controlled silence gives clarity, and clarity is power. Her return also doesn't automatically mean she changed. Sometimes she just hit loneliness, boredom, or disappointment with someone else. Maybe life humbled her. Maybe the new guy she thought was better turned out worse. Missing you is not the same as respecting you, and nostalgia is not accountability. Many men fall into this trap, confusing her emotional hunger for emotional growth. So instead of trusting her words, watch her actions. Anyone can say, "I've changed, I miss you, I realized what I lost." But change is not declared through messages. It is expressed through consistent behavior. Ask yourself if she apologizes without excuses, communicates consistently, shows effort instead of emotion, respects your boundaries, and accepts responsibility for the past instead of rewriting it. Words reveal desire, but actions reveal intention. Intelligent men wait for intention. If she comes back, do not rebuild the relationship first. Rebuild your standards. A woman who left once proved she was comfortable exiting your life. Your job now is not to win her back, but to rebuild the version of you who will never again tolerate the disrespect, confusion, or emotional imbalance that once broke you. Set boundaries. Express your needs clearly. Stop avoiding difficult conversations. Stop minimizing your pain and refuse to accept the bare minimum. Last time you may have kept quiet to keep her. This time you speak up to keep yourself. And when your standards rise, she will either rise with them or leave again. But either outcome protects your peace. I learned this lesson painfully myself. Years ago, someone walked away from me at a time when I fully believed we were building something meaningful. I blamed myself for months, replayed every conversation, picked apart every memory, trying to figure out what I did wrong, what I should have done better, or how I should have behaved differently. And when she eventually came back, it felt like validation, like proof that I mattered. But the truth was far different. She didn't return because she suddenly realized my worth. She returned because something else in her life had collapsed. She didn't come back healed. She came back seeking comfort. And I became that comfort at the cost of my own emotional stability. That experience taught me one of the most important lessons of my life. Letting someone come back is not weakness, but letting someone come back without requiring change is self-betrayal. Today, when someone from my past returns, I don't ask, do they still want me? I ask, does the man I am today still want what they bring? That shift has protected my heart more than any relationship ever has. So when she comes back, don't give her emotional access immediately. When she left, she disrupted your trust, your rhythm, and your emotional balance. Don't hand all that back to her in a single conversation. Trust must be earned. Emotional intimacy must be earned. And consistency must be earned. Let her show she can hold space for your emotions this time. Let her show patience. Let her show sustained effort. You're not punishing her. You're protecting yourself. And ask yourself a critical question. Which version of you is she coming back to? The healed, grounded, disciplined version? Or the old version she could manipulate, influence, or emotionally drain? Women often return to old comfort zones, not old partners. If you have grown mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or financially, she must meet that new level, not pull you back into old patterns. And if she cannot meet that version of you, you will know quickly. Do not fear walking away again. Men think that leaving again makes them cold or unloving, but it means you learned. It means you chose peace over familiarity and respect over nostalgia. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say when someone returns is, I'm glad you came back, but I'm not going backwards. That moment creates its own closure. You stop seeking answers and become your own answer. And if you do choose to give her another chance, rebuild from zero, not from memory. Memory is romantic and selective. It hides the patterns that caused the breakup. Start clean with new standards, clearer communication, firmer boundaries, and new expectations. Don't rebuild the old relationship. That one already failed. Build something new or build nothing at all. When someone leaves, it cracks something inside a man, his confidence, his certainty, his belief in his worth. But when that same person comes back, it tests him, not his attractiveness or masculinity, but his growth. This moment is not about whether she wants you again. It's about whether the man you've become still wants the love she offers. So don't rush. Don't romanticize her return. Don't fall for words over actions. Don't rebuild the relationship before rebuilding your standards. Don't give emotional access without consistency. Don't revert into the older version of yourself, and don't hesitate to walk away again if needed. And if you do choose to let her in, start fresh. Not from broken memories, but from a place of strength and clarity. You are not the same man she walked away from. You've learned, healed, grown, and rebuilt yourself into someone who deserves more. Whether she becomes part of your future or remains part of your past, make the decision from confidence, not fear. From clarity, not loneliness. From self-respect, not nostalgia. Because the right relationship will never require you to lose yourself again. And as you grow, evolve, and rise into the strongest version of yourself, choose the path that honors the man you've become. Always choose yourself first.